Oh my god. What is Blizzard doing, dude? They're buffing the strongest classes already. If you guys don't know, this Tuesday or Wednesday, depending if you're NA or EU, there's some big patch notes coming out for some classes, and it's going to make them insanely strong. This patch note is more of a buff than a nerf to any class, and some of them are really good, maybe like one or two. Some of them are like, what the heck are you doing, Blizzard? So I just wanted to make a quick video updating you guys what is about to happen this Tuesday. So prepare your booty hole, because holy crap, dude. Make sure to go check out my Twitch channel before you do. Dude, I need some Twitch primes, maybe a $5 dono, maybe like 100, dude. Rich Dubai kid, maybe. So let's first go over a Frost Death Knight. You're gonna imagine this, you can't see this, and we're just gonna go at this one at a time. Frost Dk, increased damage by 5%. I've seen some Frost Dks, it can work against certain things, but not everything. And Holy's still better. Speaking of, look at that. Look at that. Unholy Dk gets a 5% damage buff increase, which is absolutely insane because they're one of the strongest. They probably are the strongest melee currently. And with this is gonna kind of go over a top. But you're gonna see they changed something else to kind of compensate for the 5% damage increase. But I don't know if it's gonna be that big of a deal. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is like, this could be bad. Here's one of the absolutely big no-nos. A Destro Warlock at a 5% increase in damage buff as well, which is insanely crazy because they are literally one of the strongest casters right next to Mage. They compare with them really well, and any comp with a Destro in it is just going to do insanely well. You could throw a Destro with an Enhanced Shaymin and it'll do well because Destro is just going to do so much damage. And one of the changes I think are really good is a Arms Warrior, a 5% damage buff to all their abilities. I think this is insanely well. This is going to make them more viable. You're going to start to see them even more than you already are. The only reason why they're even semi-viable is because it DKs are really good. You can run TSG and Warriors MS is there, and that's pretty much all they're good for. And the Outlaw Rogue buff, we don't really care about that. I don't think this is going to be a concern for us to see more Outlaw Rogues. Maybe, but I don't think we're going to see any more Rogues of Outlaw than we currently are. But I could be wrong. And now for one of the biggest changes they are adding is for Resto Shaymin. If you can see right here, they're doing some crazy wacky changes. Healing Surge and Healing Wave increased by 10% and mana cost reduced by 5%. That's insane. They're already a super strong healer, and dampening, well, I should rephrase that. They're not super strong, but they used to be considered insanely strong. And with this buff, they're probably going to be the best dampening healer in game. They're just going to do really well. They have a lot of utility, making their class insanely better as dampening goes on. They rarely go they can spam purge. They have so much utility. It's crazy. So you're going to see a lot more Resto Shaymins, and I'm hoping to see a lot more diversity in comps. So I like this change right here. I just wish Blizzard would kind of hire me. Blizzard, if you're watching this video, please hire me. You can pay me like $1. You can pay me minimum wage. I don't care. Like, I want to be able to help this game. I got you, Blizzard. Just, you got to trust the community. Trust me, man. Trust me. There's plenty of people out there that want to help, but let's go ahead and continue this. PvP part. And it is saying all tier 3 Azerite traits, such as Resounding Protection and Passive Visage, are now reduced to 20%. Effectiveness in PvP was 50%. So they have a little side note here, and it says, we'd like to see sustained damage become a greater source of pressure in arena and battlegrounds, but the passive healing provides by these Azerite traits offset much of that damage. We think that decreasing their impact will see a greater pressure on the health and mana pools going forward. I think this could be a good idea. I'm hoping this can work out. Again, I'm just excited to see some changes within the game. Even if they're bad changes, I just want to see some changes because that kind of shows that they are working towards trying to better the game, and that's all I really care about, to be honest. Now here's the Death Knight change I'm talking about to compensate for the 5% damage increase that they have. They are reducing the Necrotic Strike. It used to do 70% of every time they use it. Now it's down to 5% of the target's health recede. So I think that's a pretty big deal. I don't know how much this is going to do over total. I don't play DK, but if you guys want to tell me down in the description below if you think this is overall a good thing for DKs, like if they're still considered a buff, they're still going to be really good. The class is still going to be really good regardless of this change, but how big is it is the question. And here's another decent nerf is they're nerfing Abomination by 30% damage and the attack speed. So that's a pretty big deal. Again, Abomination is something that's very easy to kite and kind of like kill and just CC in general. So I don't think this is going to make a too much of a big deal, but that definitely does something. And here for the last change is to a mage, and I think this is kind of a buff. It depends how you look at it, if it's a buff or nerf, but I think it's a buff. Temporal shield now has a 4-second duration, was 6 seconds. I think this is pretty good because there was many times temporal shield, the mage would just simply die before the temporal shield went off, and they have like 1 second, and the 4 seconds could be huge. But you can also look at it vice versa. If they were able to have temporal shield for another 2 seconds, maybe they could get additional healing, allowing them to be able to survive. It just depends how you look at it. All right, guys, that is the changes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, let me know in the comment section down below. Get out there and subscribe. Thank you, guys.